Yo, my peeps, this is Deep Patrick here. This is my first LuLaRoe video. I've been selling LuLaRoe since I began first week of October. I became a consultant the last week of August, but I'm a band teacher full-time, grades 5 through 12. So I was obviously very busy, and I just left it for a month. I mean, I didn't sell for a month. I didn't leave it completely for a month because I started selling a month later, which means mid-September. I really started getting things going and taking photos and got my Halloween leggings and sold those. Wasn't very many. Got a couple of pop-ups in October. 3,500 was my gross for October. And it just slowed down more and more because I struggled to dedicate time to it as a band teacher. November, December, that was crazy months, and then I'm spread thin doing a 5th through 12th grade program, plus I also do an orchestra group, and there's a lot more behind the story, but I did less and less, so I grossed 3,500 in October, and then about 3,000 in November, and then 2,500 in December, and December was actually worse than that. As an overall month, because a huge chunk of that came just in the last week, thankfully, because I had Christmas break. So, December was bad because I had 10 to 12 performances and all sorts of dress rehearsals. It was crazy. So, really slow month. And really started to panic about December 19th. And started really trying to push for things and online. Because stuff in person, I just wasn't getting any traction going. I wasn't putting a lot of effort either. Nothing was, the little effort that I was giving it, wasn't taken, and it wasn't enough effort. And I learned really quickly at the beginning that I preferred in person because it was way easier. In-person sales, in-home pop-up parties and stuff, because don't have to take photographs of inventory, making personal connections and friends. But it just slowed down, and I wasn't connecting with anyone. I was just with my students all day, every day, in after school rehearsals and performances, and I just really struggled. So anyway, Christmas break ended December, only 500 less than the month before, which was already 500 less than the month before that. 3,500, 3,000, 2,500. I have these defects, where I'm like all in, all out kind of thing. I'm like black and white so often. And so here was one of my points where I'm like, I just panic sell mode. I was in panic sell mode. I've got to freaking do this because I made the initial investment, and then I invested a lot more additional to that. A few weeks into October, I guess. 3 to 4 weeks, maybe closer to the end of October. I used some funds and invested 3 times more than the initial investment. So I was already around almost 20,000. I guess maybe 17,000 at the end of that. So here I was in December, January, panic selling, in panic working mode, because I'm like, oh no, I've got to pay this back. And stayed in that mode and did more and more and more, and it just began to snowball. By mid-January, I came to my parents' house, where my clothes were, every day after school, because I work pretty close to my parents' house. I live about 20 minutes away from my school. There's a lot more room at my parents' house, and my sister, who was helping me a lot before she started classes this semester, needed access to the clothes to help me, so all the clothes were here. So anyway, by mid-January, I was coming here every day after school, 4 o'clock, and staying, working till midnight or 1 o'clock. And I started doing that every day, and I started just sleeping here, and I was never even at my apartment. And when the month ended, I had several more in-home parties. I had more in-home parties booked. I had tons of online stuff booked, and I was just working all the time. In fact, I definitely was working LuLaRoe way more than my band job because I was like in panic sell mode, and then I ended the month and I totaled everything, and my gross sales were 8,300, which I was like, whoa, that's more than double my best month way back in October. So I was like super excited, and I had all this momentum built and all these things scheduled in February. But my health, I got sick. I got a cold for several days, and now I've got it again. So I just kept pushing, and here we are in February, and it's February 13th. Well, I guess it's technically 14th because it's after midnight. Uh, and I just was stupid thinking I don't want to go to bed. I want to get my totals for February so far. I should have gone to bed. I could have totaled it tomorrow. Because now, I mean, I'm sick. Because I haven't let up. And I just kept pushing. Because I thought, oh, well, I don't know if I'll be able to do as well through February. Because it doesn't look like I have as much scheduled as I had for January. And February's a short month. And I mean, I don't know why I'm thinking all these things. Because I actually, a couple nights ago, had a good conversation with my roommate when I actually went home and stayed the night. It was able to chat with him and he helped me see that I was doing okay. And I didn't need to panic sell as long as I just kept the steady, nice and steady. I didn't even need to gross 8,300 to be okay to to pay off my investment and my debts for the investment, which were debts. 0% interest credit cards, business credit cards on my business account. Fortunately, I had really good credit and stuff that I could get very large amounts of money and large amounts of time on the 0%. But he helped me see. You just have to be able to make more to be able to pay it all off and stay ahead, and you'll be okay. And besides, at this rate, you'll have it all paid off by the end anyway. But you just don't need to be in panic mode. You can chill out, maybe even just do half as much as you're doing. And I was like, shoot, you're right, but I just can't let up. I'm just so overambitious. I'm just like that. Just so determined to be successful. So anyway, I pulled my report. You're like super bored of this story. I'm going to have to redo this whole thing. I'm at 8,000. It's February 13th. I closed out the day at $8,000 gross sales on the month of February. So in 13 days, I did what I did in 31 days last month, which was more than double what I did in October, my first month, my best month. And I'm just like, wow. I mean, I can feel it. I'm having a full-time job is one thing, but for those who are teachers, you know that it's different. And then for those who are coaches, choir teachers, band teachers, drama teachers, all that kind of stuff, it's a whole new ball game because of how much stuff is outside school. So I mean, I have done nothing but work. I have not had a life the past 6 weeks that I have decided that I've just really got to do this. And I'm like, shoot, now how do I let up? I don't know how to let up because I've scheduled all this stuff, and I definitely need some help, I guess. I'm just super excited. It's going really well. And some people are like, well, God, would you quit being a band director then and just do this? Because make a lot more money, right? And I'm like, yeah, I make a lot more money this way. But my passion is teaching and music. I mean, I've gained a passion for selling LuLaRoe and women's clothing. I've gained a huge passion for it. I love it. It's awesome. But there's no denying that music is my blood. My blood. In fact, I mean, one of the biggest reasons I got into LuLaRoe, why I sell LuLaRoe, is so that I can be financially independent enough to run my own music school or music program for underprivileged children and youth. I really feel passionate about that, and I want to be able to do that. And so I have to keep teaching. I love teaching. I love music. And I just need to get more help so I can sustain the growth. I'm super excited. Thanks for watching. I'm D. Patrick from D. Patrick's Fashion Corner. That's me. And I usually have a beard. My face is freezing cold today. Thanks for watching this really long, boring video.